Am I the asshole for cutting my daughter off from her new friends? Update to this post at this link. My beautiful daughter, Maggie, turned 16 last month and is trans, relevant. Over the summer we moved halfway across the country. Mixed experience for Maggie. Obviously it was hard for all the usual reasons, but she was excited to start fresh. For context, she passes very well. She more or less looks young for her age. So in the lead up to September, she told us that she didn't want to be out at her new school. She wanted people to just know her as a girl, not as a trans girl. I admit, my wife and I weren't sure what to make of this, but she seemed happy. She quickly made friends with several other girls her age, especially one girl, Brittany. Important soon, things were going smoothly, and we relaxed a bit. Then Friday I get a text from Maggie's best friend back home. We'll call her, Jenna. Asking either me or my wife to call her, and not to tell Maggie yet. Basically, Maggie has been hanging out with both Jenna and Brittany online, and Brittany would sometimes say very transphobic things, along the lines of trans women not being real women, or they're gross, you get the idea, and Maggie would laugh along and agree. Apparently Jenna privately called her out, and Maggie begged her not to say anything or out her, said Brittany was an amazing friend otherwise, so on. Jenna, bless her heart, didn't want to be cut off from Maggie, so she agreed. So then last week they were hanging out and Brittany made a comment about some pervert at school, and Maggie tries to change the subject but it all comes out anyway. There's another trans girl at the school and Brittany has been bullying her. In front of, with friends. Including Maggie. And Maggie has done nothing to help this poor girl or distance herself from Brittany. This led to a massive fight between Jenna and Maggie, and they haven't spoken since. Now Jenna figures if she can't salvage her friendship with Maggie, she can at least maybe help her by telling us. I exploded. I don't have room for details, but I tore a strip off Maggie for being a part of this, confiscated her phone, grounded her, and told her never to speak to Brittany, that group again. This shot her weekend plans to hell. It's been 2 days, and she hasn't spoken to me since. My wife has been on my team in front of Maggie and is horrified by what's been going on. But she thinks that we can't expect to forbid teenagers from seeing one another, and I've now cut Maggie off from some of the only friends she has out here. But I just don't get it. I've tried talking to her, but she just won't and I don't want to push her too hard. Her mother convinced her to bump up her next appointment with her therapist, grudgingly, but otherwise she hasn't had much luck either and she thinks we made a mistake. So, here I am. I feel badly for the way I reacted, but I also don't see how else I could have. My little girl is enabling a transphobic bully, and I don't see how she can live with herself. Every time I think about it I just see red. Am I the asshole? Edit. Reading everything here helped. I appreciate all of you. My wife has just opened the post to read for herself too. We will be sitting down and talking with Maggie today, and I will apologize for the way I reacted, and we'll go from there. I'm terrified about what I might hear, but if I can help it, I can't just let her go back to school with all this. Edit 2. A few folks may have missed this in my post. Yes, she does have a therapist that she sees regularly. That was one of the first things we did when she came out to us. As I mentioned above, we're getting her an urgent appointment to help her deal with this. Edit 3. Update. I sat down with her and apologized for losing my temper. I told her I wasn't mad anymore, just scared for her, and that I wanted to help. I said we would need to solve this, but we'd do it together, and that my wife and I would give her a little time to think about it, if she needed it. And then she just about disintegrated. She was sobbing and couldn't even get words out. Her mom and I held her and let her cry it out. After that I asked if she was ready to talk about it, and she said she wanted a little space first to put herself together, but she said she knows how much of a mess this is and that it needs fixing. So that's where we are now. We're letting her collect herself and calm down, and I'm typing this while her mom puts together a late lunch for her, and after she's eaten we'll talk and go from there. Not sure if I'll be able to update, but I'll try. Thank you again everyone for your help and insight. Edit 4, final update. It's too damn long to put in this post, so I put it on my profile, so click. Closing square bracket opening parenthesis. Not the asshole. Your daughter is condoning a bully's behavior. She needs to learn friendships like this are toxic and will end badly for her in the long run. Not the asshole. Maggie isn't enabling a bully. She is the bully. Not only is she not distancing herself but joining in on the action. Consider therapy and talking to Brittany's the group's parents too. Not the asshole. Trans or not, your daughter should never get away with being a bully, nor supporting one. I can't imagine how you must feel. Keep your daughter in line, you know best how to raise her. You, dear parent, did the right thing. Do not give in until this is settled. Absolutely not the asshole. In an effort to keep her transition private, as is her right, she's become a bully to another trans girl who didn't have the luck she did. Not only is that terrible to be, it's terrible for your daughter. I'm sure she's torn up about it, saying and agreeing with all the vile things Britney says that if Britney knew the truth she would be saying to her. And if it ever came out that she is trans, she may lose her only LGBTQ+ support in the area for her actions when it comes out. She may not see it now, but you're protecting her. Not the asshole. I think your reaction is appropriate considering your daughter is a participant in bullying. It is apparent that your daughter is going through some things with processing her identity, but that is not an excuse to passively bully someone else who is open about their transition. I am also glad to see your wife is encouraging your daughter to see her therapist sooner. Hopefully the therapist can help Maggie deal with her feelings about the situation and encourage healthier boundaries. Not the asshole, this could just be an attempt to have some friends and avoid loneliness. It's not cool at all, and your daughter is indeed a bully. You guys could have an intervention with Maggie, maybe convince Maggie to stand up for the victims Britney bullies. Your wife is also right. Your daughter will try to find ways to hang out with those girls. This may be a situation where the person would have to go through something on their own and learn from it. She is probably scared to end up without friends or being bullied too. Maybe report to the school that these girls are bullying people. Sadly, the school usually won't do a lot about it. Encourage her to get new friends or do things by herself. I had little friends with the same timetable but had a great time just grabbing coffee before class and reading books in my breaks, etc. Hopefully she'll get a new class and better friends soon. Not the asshole. By allowing bullying, she becomes a bully herself. Am I the asshole for suggesting long-sleeve bridesmaid dresses? I have two very close friends, Jenny and Gracie, that are getting married this fall, and both of them have asked me to be in their wedding party. Gracie has asked me to be her maid of honor, and to say I was thrilled would be an understatement. 2 weeks ago Gracie, myself, and the 3 other bridesmaids all got tested and then booked a small group to do some bridesmaid dress shopping. I have quite a few tattoos including a full sleeve, and understood that being Mo I would likely be in a lot of photos and moments in the wedding video. I approached Gracie and let her know that if she wanted me to get a long-sleeve bridesmaid dress to cover my tattoos I would have no problem with it, as her fiancé's family is a bit more traditional. She laughed and told me that was ridiculous and that she would never insist I get a long-sleeve dress to cover up, but appreciated me asking and reassuring her that I would if she asked. Today, Jenny, her group of bridesmaids and I went and got fitted for dresses as well. After we all tried on a couple of sleeveless options, Jenny just was not loving some of them. I pulled her aside and told her the same thing, if she wanted me to cover up my tattoos or opt for a long sleeve dress to just say the word. A look of relief washed over her face and she thanked me. She didn't want to feel like a bridezilla and tell me to cover up, and she had really liked one of the long sleeve options. I tried it on and she loved it, and she brought up the idea to her sister who also had a few visible tattoos. Her sister blew up and told her that she was being controlling and shouldn't care about her tattoos. The other bridesmaids tried to calm her down and said they also liked the long sleeve option after seeing me in it and decided to get it as well, so if she got it we would all match. Her sister flipped out and said she couldn't have long sleeves cause she'll be too warm, and I told her it was a late October wedding and it would likely be chilly out. I told her to grow up, and it wasn't even her wedding, it was Jenny's, and she had already made a decision. Her sister said that if she had to wear long sleeves she would not be a bridesmaid, so Jenny had to choose. Jenny was clearly hurt and upset, but said that she would prefer the long sleeves, and the other 2 girls agreed. Before she left, Jenny's sister told me it was my fault because wasn't an issue until I brought it up, and I should feel like shit for making Jenny choose. She also said I should have stepped down as a bridesmaid so that everyone else wouldn't have to cover up as well to accommodate my poor choice of tattoo placement, despite her also having tattoos on her arms. I feel bad and know it hurt Jenny to make that decision on what was supposed to be a happy day, but I also feel that I was just trying to be helpful in the situation and didn't mean for it to escalate. So Reddit, am I the asshole for this one? Edit for clarification. The tattoos were the issue. I could sense that, which is why I brought it up. Her sister has tattoos as well, and she did not want to cover up despite that being the issue. Edit. Just woke up and wanted to say thank you to everyone for your judgment, suggestions, and perspectives. Also wanted to answer a couple common questions as it's hard to get through all the comments and reply individually to everyone right now. I mentioned Gracie's wedding because Jenny's sister was going to be Mo at her wedding, and that's where the long-sleeve dress idea originally popped into my head after trying on sleeveless dresses there, with Gracie also struggling to love an option. And no, I have known these two for years, and Jenny's sister doesn't struggle with any medical issues that make her sweat more normally than usual. If that had been the case, then I would have never tried to rebut that statement. Lastly, many have suggested jackets, detachable sleeves, or some type of cover-up instead of long-sleeved dresses. I had texted Jenny with this suggestion and she said that she will talk to her sister about it. You're a good friend, she's a bad sister. Not the asshole. NTA. If I got it right, before the sister exploded, the bride didn't like the sleeveless dresses, and pretty much everyone agreed that the long-sleeve one was the best, including the bridesmaids who, I assume, didn't have tattoos. Being a late October wedding, it's fitting because it is colder. Not the asshole. You are happy with your body art, but recognize that some are not. Volunteering to wear long sleeves was a very sweet thing to do. Jenny's sister needs to grow up. Not the asshole. I think it's thoughtful of you to be honest. I'm going to be a Mo in one of my friends' weddings next year and I made the same offer. I'm happy to wear a long-sleeved dress to cover up my tattoos. I personally think it will make for better photos and enhance the overall look, not take away. Excited to get glammed up for the night and support my beautiful friend. WTF. I don't even understand what's going on here. Are you an asshole for suggesting a different style of dress? Not the asshole. Now I think it's wrong to specifically ask people to cover up their tattoos, but only if it's a singled out sorta way, like asking them to use makeup or wear a shawl when no one else has to. But simply picking a long-sleeve dress does not have to be dramatic. A bridesmaid's biggest job is to wear the dress the bride picks out. Though, if it was made loudly clear that the sole purpose of the dress was to cover the tattoos, I could understand her ire. But it sounds like it was also just a dress that everyone genuinely liked better. ETA. My initial reading, I thought Jenny was the one that said that stuff to you at then end, but nope. The sister is a huge drama llama. Can anybody please explain me why people are so obsessed with tattoos at the wedding? This is just coming up quite regularly, and I personally find it quite bizarre that this is obviously a thing for many. I have no tattoos, but I simply would not care if people looked the way, well, they just look. Not the asshole. You communicated to the bride in the most considerate way possible. And she's happy. That's all that matters. Don't give it a single thought. I hope the wedding goes fabulously. Not the asshole. Jenny's sister, however, is a huge one. Am I the asshole for telling my friend my boyfriend would never date her? I, 26F, have been with my boyfriend, Jason, 25M, for about 2 years. I have known my friend, Stacy, 25F, for about 8 years. For as long as I've been dating Jason, Stacy has made rude comments about how unattractive she finds him. She always says things like, I would never date Jason because his nose is significant other big. It's like a clown nose. That's literally something she said last week. She doesn't say it to Jason's face, just to me. I always ask her to stop, and she does for a bit. But then after a day or two, she'll do it again. It really irritates me. The other day, she made the clown nose comment and she also made fun of Jason's laugh, and I snapped. I told her that she should stop wasting her time on hating Jason because if Jason was single, there's no way he'd date her. I also asked if she would like me to make fun of her to her back the way she does to Jason, and I threatened to do it. As a disclaimer, I would never actually do that. I just said it to prove a point. Stacy started crying and she left my house. She told some of our other friends about the incident, and they said I was an asshole for saying Jason wouldn't date her. They said it really hurt her feelings, and since she's single and I'm not, I should have had some tact. Stacy also said my comments implied that she was undateable, even though I never said that. I just said that Jason wouldn't date her. Anyway, it's been a mess of a situation. I wanted to ask this sub if I'm the asshole, so am I? Not the asshole. Your friend is a sicko. She either has a crush on him so she tries to constantly insult him to hide it, or she's extremely jealous of you having a boyfriend so she's projecting hard. Either way, she sounds like a shitty manipulator by trying to twist your words and running to others. Not the asshole. I'm kind of feeling like she is interested in him and making the comments to throw you off. Not the asshole. Why are you even friends with someone like that? Not the asshole. People are always so quick to say you should have had restraint, but so should Stacy? You asked her multiple times for her to stop with her bullying of your boyfriend, and she ignored it. I'd leave her as a friend, if she can't respect my significant other boundaries. Not the asshole. She disrespected him, and disrespected you, and your relationship. Oh no. Her feelings were hurt. You asked her stop many times and she refused. What about your feelings, or don't they count? You may want to put some distance between you, her and your friends, for a while. Stacy is sweet on Jason, your Jason, who is taken. And she is handling her disappointment and heartbreak with all the maturity and grace of an emotionally stunted middle schooler. I think you would be happier if you just distanced yourself from Stacy. Not the asshole. She poked a bear repeatedly. Now she's wondering why she got bitten. Not the asshole. Not the asshole, but you mean to say that all of your friends support how she insults your boyfriend and are mad you made that comment. These people are not your friends. Not one of them. Am I the asshole for letting my wife sleep on the couch and going to bed? My wife has a habit of falling asleep on the couch. She is a very heavy sleeper. When we sit down to watch TV, she always tells me to wake her up to go to bed so she can take her medicine. Well, 90% of the time when I try to wake her up, she just tells me, 5 more minutes, several times for a couple of hours. Sometimes it even gets past midnight before I can get her up. I am exhausted from the day and want to sleep too. So the last time this happened, I tried to get her up for about an hour 1/2. She just got annoyed when I tried. So when 11:30 rolled around, I just went to bed. The next morning she was furious. Genuinely curious if I am making a dick move. Am I the asshole? Not the asshole, she needs to have several seats. Respectfully. Not the asshole, she is in charge of where she sleeps, not you. I wouldn't take that crap from a partner. Not the asshole. If she needs to get up to take her medicine and refuses, that is on her. You informed her several times and she refused. Perhaps she should try taking her medicine before she falls asleep or adjusting her routine in some other manner. Not the asshole. As someone in your wife's shoes, i.e., I fall asleep, and then beg off 5 more minutes constantly. I can appreciate how frustrating this sort of thing must be for you, and my wife. You tried several times to wake her up. She wouldn't budge. She's an adult. What more does she want? Not the asshole. Just video it next time and show her you really tried. She's mad because she's not conscious of telling you no or brushing you off. She does not realize what she's doing. She should definitely not get mad at you for this. She is responsible for getting herself to bed. When I catch myself nodding off on the couch, I just wait for it. Get up and go to bed. Because I'm an adult and I know sleeping on the couch will give me a crick in my neck. Not the asshole. If she can't get up when you try to get her to, that's on her. She knows she needs the meds. Try putting the meds on a table next to her while on the couch, or even take them earlier. She shouldn't blame you when she won't get up. Not the asshole. My ex worked nights and was a heavy sleeper. He would sleep through his alarms and insisted that I call him several times, from my work, to wake him. One time the signal was bad and he couldn't hear me when he answered. It didn't occur to the moron that it was me calling to wake him, so he turned his phone off and went back to sleep. He was furious that he slept in for work. Adults need to adult, and that means getting themselves up when they need to. Not the asshole. She is a grown adult that can manage her medication and should move herself to the room when she starts to get sleepy.